Warning. The thoughts and views and opinions of guests and hosts are just thoughts and views and opinions of an entertainment podcast. Not to be taken serious or to heart, only for granted like my previous lovers. I am not a professional, I just play one on the show. So please enjoy, or not. I do not control you no matter how cool I sound. Enjoy. Deuces.
Welcome.
No special characters.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Carried away with the sniper rifle.
That's a huge red flag. First of all, don't walk past me, stare me up and down, and then go commit a crime, right? That hurts my feelings. I don't think so. What time is it? Oh, it's business time. It's business o'clock. Let's fucking go. Welcome back, good people, to another episode of Those Special Characters. Yes. I told you guys I would be back. A lot of you guys didn't think I was gonna come back. A lot of you guys are like, he ain't coming back, but do remember. I told you I was coming to finish this show. We only have so many left. But we're gonna reach 300. You heard me. 300. So for all you guys that thought I wanted to be here, this is for you guys. For all you guys that were counting me out, this is for you guys. All right, that's a little bit too much. Fuck them guys. There goes monetization right away. Look at that. All right, but this is for you guys that have been holding on, waiting for an episode, telling me when I'm going to get to the episode. What's taking me so long with these episodes? Why I haven't started my episode and all this stuff. This is for you guys that motivated me to come back, to staying this strong. And those are for the haters too, that were like waiting for me to announce that this was the end of the show. No, not at all. Did you not hear the new disclaimer? Did you not hear the new intro? You think I'm stopping when I just got those? Are you guys smoking dust? So, yeah. And I just want to say huge shout out to my friend Jeremy Soto for making the intro, making the outro. Like, it just came out so good. It came out so cool. It came out so smooth. I liked it a lot. So that's what I'm like, oh, I definitely got to come back. I was like, I definitely got to do something for y'all. I got to bring it back, the ones and twos and threes and all that stuff. So let me give you guys a listen to what the intro goes. And you're probably like, we already heard it. You're going to hear it again. All right. This is my friend's. My friend made this song, so you pretend you're going to like it. Nah, you better like it.
Welcome.
No special characters.
This is so smooth. So smooth. So you hear this and you're like, that's a pretty cool beat. I know, my friend made it. So it's like, what goes into that? And I will say this from watching him do this, from create songs from scratch. It's a lot. And if you really love something, if you truly love something, you put all your heart and energy into it. And that's exactly what he did. So I was like, yo, I have to make sure that I 100% deliver on this episode, since this is the introduction to his beats for everybody to consume. So I was like, all right, well, for my show. He has music out there on Spotify. Go check him out. The name of his group is called The Black Minds, and his Instagram and YouTube is called ACG Wipeout. So he's going to be putting up content of behind the scenes from when we created the beat. And I have content right now on my page from when I created the beat. It's all on the No Special Characters page. So make sure you go and check that out. So I've always wanted to do an intro. I've always wanted to do an intro for the show. I always wanted to get this out the way, but like, oh, I really want to invest that into the show that we have our own intro. If you guys can pay attention, if you guys normally watch the visuals, you would notice that the background's different. It's not the same. I got different stickers. I had a new drawing in the background. I had a new chair to be more quieter instead of it's always creaking and clicking. I got a brand new chair to be more comfortable so I could just sit here for a way more longer time for you guys. So yeah, there's a bunch of changes. Can't quit now. Can't quit now. I got to keep going. But what's going to make this so much fun is that I reached out to a bunch of producers. I was like, hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? And everybody's like, I'm kind of busy and all that stuff. And I was like, all right, cool. So I just happened to luck out with Jeremy. And I've known Jeremy for, I think, at least 10 or 11 years now. So it was like, oh, yeah. I'm talking to producers. I was like, I remember my friend Jeremy produces. I was like, let me reach out to Jeremy. I was like, "Look, Jeremy is good at what he does. I like his music. He's very musically inclined. He likes doing his rock music. He likes doing scores, and he's amazing at scores. He let me hear some of the scores he wants to create. I was like, that's wild. And when you see somebody that loves what they do, all the stuff that they do, the way they build up beats, the way it starts from nothing to something, and like even mine, like it was like originally it had like 10 or 11 layers to it, and I think he removed. I was like, nah, we don't need that because he was like, as much as I hate how simple it is, I still like it. And I'm like, yeah, relax. But it's still not simple at all. It's like, it's still a bunch of layers. Even the outro has a bunch of layers to it. So I know I'm probably boring you guys with this music talk, but it's just dope when you see somebody else do it. And it's like, all right, the way you feel about this is the way I feel about podcasting. I love podcasting. When people see me get in my essence, when they see me set up the cameras, when they see me pull up the paperwork, this is what we're going to talk about, try to drag it, or no, we should move it like this, we should say it like this, we should do it like this. It's like, got it, copy. So, yeah. Also, I think a bunch of producers didn't want me to touch their instrumentals because it probably would have went something like this. Okay. Oh.
Welcome.
No special characters.
That's the name of the show. My name is Joe. You hear this flow? Of course. Of course? Course, coast. No, the word is coast. Coast. Like a cup holder. Hey, I'm an entertainment. Who's the beholder?
Hey. Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Leave these out.
You're listening to
Special characters.
And I can't forget these.
This is culturally inappropriate.
That's I.
You're not getting it. It's not clocking to you.
I know a gentleman that's going to be a big part of an upcoming...
Here I come. Here I come.
I can't help it that I'm custom made.
You have an emergency contact?
On my cool J.
Had to get those in the way because I almost forgot them. I'll forget them because I'm over here glazing. So that's what made it dope. So that's the intro. This is the outro. So
Deuces.
now I will say this outro was originally an intro, but I turned it to an outro because we went through the intro so fast. It was kind of inconsiderate of me to be like, oh, we could just create something real quick, not knowing that this man loves what he does. So there's no such thing as create something real quick. So he was like, so I was planning on an intro. I wasn't really planning on an outro. And I'm like, oh, okay, do you think it's a problem? He said, no, it shouldn't be a problem. So he goes, spitball me some ideas. Let me know which direction do you want to go in with the outro. And I was like, a jaunty. He was like, what? He's like, yeah, a jaunty. And he's like, why? Because it's unexpected. He's like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I was like, yeah. He goes, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That's all, folks. I was like, yes. He was like, we just created something so smooth, so cool, so this, so that. And he goes, and do you want to enter? I was like, yeah. I was like, it's so unexpected. Like the way I end my show is like, all right, man, everybody take care, blah, 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 blah. I love you. It's like, where did that come from? Why would you choose that? Why would that be your selection? Why would you want to run with that? So it's like, yeah, that's exactly why. That's exactly why I want to do it. That's exactly why. Like there's no workaround around that. That's exactly what I want to do right there. So he was like, okay. And like you can see the frustration in his face. I was like, it don't make sense. You do your part, and I'm gonna love everything that you do. I'll find a way to incorporate that into something that I do and make it absolutely fun. They'd be like, all right, what section is this? Where could you add that? And I'm like, we're gonna find out. We're gonna have a lot of fun with this. So I think he's still in the middle of working on it. So I was like, all right, cool. But I didn't mean to put that burden on him because he was like, because we created something, and he was like, it's missing. I'm like, what's it missing? He's like 100 other sounds. And I'm like, yo, my bad. I didn't mean to do that to you, bro. I did not mean to do that to you. So it was just like so funny. But I was like, oh man, I just put a burden on my friend. He was like something that he just created so cool, so smooth, and all this. And I'm like, wow. But let me run you down my man's resume. Let me run you down. According to Spotify, he has 25 collaborators and 154 songs on Spotify. Now, is this true or not? I don't know, but Spotify's saying it, so I'm gonna believe it. All right. He has some guy named Great John. All right. Some dude named Jonathan Scott. And then he jumps into Chef G, King Von, Sleepy Hollow, Lil TJ. Lil TJ just shot somebody. All right. Allegedly. Vivio Foreign, Rich the Kid, Skeely Bang. I don't know who that is. I'm old. And Jake Lilly. All right, a bunch of people. Montclair. All right, that's what it says. All right, you know what, Jeremy? We're gonna go with that. Okay, that's how we're gonna promote you. Spotify says you collaborated with all these people. You created the song, helped create the song "Anxiety" with Doechii. Fire! I'll put that on my resume. "Wait on Me" with Chef G and Sleepy Hollow. 1999 with Sleepy Hollow. A lot of Sleepy Hollow. You got a lot of sleep. You be in the Bronx, Jeremy? Look at that, son. That's crazy. All right. Let's see. He killed somebody. I'm not gonna say his name. It's according to Spotify. Jeremy be in these streets. Jeremy's a goon. If you see Jeremy, you should just know. Don't judge a book by its cover. He be out here in the streets wilding, son, wilding. All right. So shout out to Jeremy. Go check out his page. ACG Wipeout. That's for him. All right. Let's see. Let's see what I bought on my docket. All right, so I experienced two things this week, and one is, and the other one is like, Now, which one do I start with? So, the was, no, yeah, my bad. This is my tism showing. But my moment was, I was at work. I was actually looking really nice. I actually dressed up. I actually did my hair. Oh, this is the first time, you guys. I don't know if I mentioned it yet, but this is the first time like I haven't worn a hat on the show to record a podcast. So this should be really interesting because my forehead looks gigantic on this camera. This is the only thing. That's not the only head that looks gigantic on this button. Stop. All right. So I was at work. That's probably why I got sexually harassed. I'm about to tell you. I was sexually harassed at work, and I will say this: women that sexually harass are really crazy and bold than men. I know you're gonna be like, whoa. Men have been sexually harassing women for years and years and years in the workplace. You're absolutely right. But the thing is, when they were being harassed, the majority of the time, it's from somebody with power, somebody coming from somewhere high. If somebody's on the same level as you, is trying to talk to you, like, hey, yo, relax. Like, you can't. We're not even. I know we're in the same tax bracket, but we're not in the same dating field, all right? So it was just very interesting that I go to work. I was dressed up for the first time. I was wearing my quarter zip, tie, shirt, button-up shirt, some shoes, some nice slacks. I had my hair done. I was looking like a snack. I was looking like the birthday, as the kids would say. And I get into this elevator because I'm hungry. I'm like, I want to go eat something. So I get in the elevator, and right when I'm about to get into the elevator, this lady's trying to walk off. So we bump into each other. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. And she was like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was my floor. I was like, no, we're still going up. All right, cool. So she makes a comment like, you going to get some food? I was like, yeah, I'm actually pretty hungry. And she was like, I bet you are. I was like, okay. All right. That's cool. And she's like, yeah. So if you're not doing anything, would you like to accompany to my office? I beg your pardon? Yeah, man, we could just get something to eat in there. And I'm like, she didn't have food on her, people. There was no food. I don't think there was food in her office. She just basically was like, hey, do you want to come back to the office with me? And I'm like, wait, 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 wait. And I think she caught my tone where I was like, huh? She was like, JK, ha, 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 ha. Like girls would always be trying to hide the JK with the ha, 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 ha. And I'm like, am I being objectified? So I'm like, wait, is this happening right now? Is this real life? So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go continue to go up to the cafeteria and go emotionally eat now, eat my feelings away. You just gave me a bigger appetite because I feel sexualized now. And I'm not used to that. All right. That's funny feelings. Now I'm gonna start growing hair in funny places. All right. I know some of you guys are like, what up? But no. I make decent money. I can't take that risk. I can't be out here sexually harassing or getting sexually harassed. And that's very common in the field. It's a crazy thing. That's a wild way to start the first episode of season 6. Have you ever been sexually harassed before? That's some wild shit. But yeah, that's what was going on with me. So I was talking to the girls at my job. I was like, yo, y'all be on some wild time. So they was like, yeah. I was like, but as I stated before, it's normally a guy that's trying to sexually harass you. 9 times out of 10, they got money, or they're just low life losers. They're and the low life losers they be doing it. I'm like, what exactly do you have to offer? Look, now I sound like I'm bringing up the table again, but it's like, what do you have to offer? So it's like, but very entertaining, and not because it's like, how many times has this happened before? Better yet, how many times have guys have given up? There's a movie on Netflix, my bad, my tism kicking in. It's called Dracula, A Love Story. And there's this vampire girl, this ginger vampire girl. She's being held captive by Van Helsing. I believe it's Van Helsing. And he was like, this demon is not of this earth and blah, 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 spawner, Satan, hell, all this stuff. He's like, okay. And she looks at the camera, they pan in, they do this beautiful shot of her face. She's really beautiful. And she was like, if you let me go, I'll do whatever you want me to do. She started flickering her tongue. I was like, oh, she would have been so freed. It would have been fucking amazing. Like, yeah, she would have killed the hell out of me. But for those 2 seconds of like, yes, it's gonna happen. Nah, it's it would have went so bad. But yeah. Sexual harassment's not cool. But yeah. And then I continued on with life. That sounds bad. That sounds like a bad segue. I was like, oh, just get over it. But I just ended up going on with my day, and I was being lazy. I didn't feel like doing my own like oil change. So I ended up going to like the local Jiffy Lube, not an ad, and getting my oil change done. And while I was getting my oil change done, I don't know if this was genius or this was like a wild chance. It was either genius or dumb. It's either he's getting a callback or he's not getting a callback. But it seems like he's getting a callback where he took a date, and it seemed like a first date with him to Jiffy Lube to get to know each other. And I'm like, I don't know how to judge this. I don't know how to read this, because it was like, oh man, so tell me, where'd you go to school at? And then and at first I was like, do they have to like be in separate cars and they're getting to know each other now? But then it was like, no, they came together. I saw them leave together. So I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, is this the new dating pool where you could just take girls on like random errands and it'll be fine? So I was like, So it's like, I'm having a hard time trying to figure out if like, is this like alpha or beta? Because it's alpha that, hey man, you're bold enough to like take a girl on a date somewhere that's not a conventional date. It's not like a real date. And then it's beta that you're not doing your own oil change. And that says a lot, because I'm there to getting my oil change done too. But you're letting the girl that you're interested in know that you can't do an oil change. Now I could do an oil change, but I'm lazy. But it was like, how does this fall? Like, where does this fall? Where does it go from here? How do you move forward in this conversation where it's like, well, at least you don't get your oil. That's why you don't do your own oil change, you simple bitch. So it's like, all interesting to me. Yeah, how do you determine if that's an alpha or a beta move? because it is genius to be like, all right, I'm changing the landscape, I'm changing the playing field. That's cool and all. But it's like, okay, how do you know this isn't being used against you after the date's over? Like, stick with me. Like, how do you know she won't just go, well, you could have just paid me and I would have just changed your oil for you? like, like, how do you stop that from happening? Or how do you know she's not judging on the type of oil you're getting, right? That's even better, right? Like, what if you're like, oh, you're not gonna get the premium oil, you're just gonna get the basic regular oil? That's another one. Or did you just use a coupon on our first date, on our first oil change date? like it's all these things that come into play. You don't know how to check your fluid, you don't know how to put air in your tires. There's a lot to take away from this simple conversation as a first date. Now, if you get to know the person and the person like me, like I know how to do all that stuff. So it's like, all right, okay. And a lot of the girls know I know how to do all that stuff because sometimes it just basic information that comes out. I'd be like, hey, ladies, guess who knows how to do their oil change? This guy right here. So it's like, oh my God, so dreamy. So it's like kind of funny, but it's like, this is such a game changer. I would have never thought to be like, hey, our first date, where do you want to go? You're coming with me to get an oil change. Something your car has never experienced. She's like, oh, so this is where you take your car to get an oil change because your girls never change their goddamn oil. That shit sounds like their engine has like a shitload of rocks in it. So, yeah. I know some of you guys are like, no. Some of you guys are like, those engines are...
You're a victim.
It's a victim. The engine's a victim. Like, shit. So, yeah. It was just very interesting. I was like, oh, okay. This is a lot to take in. Pause. Oh, you know what I just noticed I didn't do? I did not do my movie review section because I didn't know I was going to keep the movie review section yet. So, time for the movie review section. That was obnoxiously loud. So, I'm not talking about a movie this time. I'm going to talk about a movie trailer that came out about a week ago. The Punisher trailer just came out, but there's nothing to really grasp from it. It just looks like it's more of a, like, you can see that he's broken. Like, there's no real Easter eggs in it. All right, I'm talking about it. I'm here now. So the Punisher trailer is like, there's no Easter eggs. You can see he's broken. You can see that he's struggling to figure out if he wants to be Frank Castle or if he just wants to fully transform to the Punisher. There's not much there. You can't tell who the bad guy is. People are saying it's Jigsaw, but Jigsaw's dead. So it's like, how do you bring somebody back that you killed, even though Marvel's notorious for doing that? But it's like, also, to me, they dropped the ball with Jigsaw. Jigsaw was a good character. I love Warzone with the unknown Punisher guy. His that was not the worst movie. But it was like, okay. But Jigsaw, the way they did him in this one, it was like, all right, it's a broken guy with a fractured mind, and my name's Jigsaw. It made no goddamn sense. So it was like, okay. Like the Jigsaw and the movie Punisher Warzone, his face was put in a glass grinder, and it was all torn to pieces. And then the doctor had to put it together. He's like, we found this. We use cow hide. We use pig hide. We use everything that we can find to put your face back together and try to save your eyes and do this and do that. And it was like, oh, okay. And then you see it's just like all like messed up. So he's like, all right, Jigsaw, because his face looks like a jigsaw puzzle. But this one, it wasn't like, nah, you didn't even follow any of that. So I was like, okay. But the trailer I do want to talk about is Spider-Man: A New Day. And I know everybody's beat the shit out of this thing. So I'm more interested in the characters that are in it. Because we saw the Punishers in it, and it's like, okay. So if you know anything about the Punisher, back to the Punisher again, there's clean shave Frank, and then there's that Frank. So Frank Castle with the beard is really, the Punisher with the beard is really Frank Castle. When he's clean cut, he's the Punisher. All right? If that makes any sense to you guys. But in this one, you can see like, all right, we don't know where his story takes place and where that story takes place. So we're just going to keep it on Spider-Man for now. So you see Scorpion, you see The Hand, you see all these cool characters. I was like, all right, if you're seeing all these cool characters, that means there's more characters to come. I'm figuring if the Punisher is there, then we have Daredevil there. We have Daredevil there, and we have The Hand there. As much as I would like to be, they're going to add the Foot and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I doubt it, but it's there. It's open for that. So it's like, if you got Daredevil there, I would like the Defenders to come back. You know, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Danny Rand, aka Iron Fist. That'll all be fire. Like I saw Bruce Banner there, and they're talking about Grey Hulk. So it's like, or Savage Hulk. What do they call it? I think it's Savage Hulk. So it's like all of these cool things that could possibly be on this trailer. But if I see the Scorpion there, I'm like, is a Shocker gonna be there? And I'm like, which Spider-Man arc is this? Is basically what I really want to know is what Spider-Man arc is this? Now, there's two Spider-Man arcs. Now, if you're a kid from the 90s, like I grew up in the 90s, you saw that Spider-Man series, then you see the one where he turns into a spider. He grows the extra arms. He doesn't know what's happening. He's being hunted by Morbius. I think it's Morbius and the Punisher. The Punisher's really trying to kill him. And I think at one point they try to fix him. Or I might be confusing Morbius with more other shit. But I remember Morbius being there, but he transforms into the human spider or man spider, as people will call him. And then he attacks. And that's only because the Vulture was trying to get his DNA because the Vulture was aging out and da-da-da-da. So, cool. But then there's the Spectacular Spider. And the Spectacular Spider, to me, seems more... Let's see. The Spectacular Spider seems a little bit more accurate than him just turning into Man Spider. See, as much as everybody wants to see the extra arms and him turn into a gigantic tarantula, that's cool as that'll look, the CGI would probably look terrible on that shit. But if he turns into the Spectacular Spider, which basically happens, he gets bit by like a queen spider, right? Stay with me. And it starts mutating him. And he transforms into this gigantic spider like everybody's expecting him to do. Like, all right. So in this one, he doesn't really get the arms. He just boom, full transformation. So it's like, okay. And then the spider dies. But the spider is pregnant. And there's a cocoon inside the spider. And he transforms into Peter Parker basically gets a new body. He turns into the Spider-Man again, but now he has organic web shooters. I was like, that'll be fire too, because at what point did we start introducing the Spider-Verse, like all the other Spider-Mans and like Madam Web and all this stuff? Because you did this whole Madam Web rollout and they did nothing with the Madam Web rollout. So it's like, this will be a perfect time. Like, hey, if we're going down this route, why not go fully into it? Like, why not just fully commit to that? So it's like, Interesting. Now, because we saw the cocoon in the trailer, and then we're assuming that he had organic webs, but we really didn't get to see it. It could have been something else. But in this one, he wakes up in the cocoon, and he's like, oh no. And it's like, oh, okay. Now, when I originally saw it before all the conversation started, I was thinking we were going to get Venom. Tom Holland's Venom would be fire too. But it's been done a bunch of times already. So I'm wondering what direction they're gonna take it, how they're gonna do it. Are we ever gonna get introduced to the cat? She was very important. As I believe that was Gwen Stacy, if I'm correct. Was Gwen Stacy the cat? Let's see. Spider-Man. Who was the cat? Or was it another girl? I think it was the other girl. The girl from the first one, the model with Tobey Maguire. The one that was like who was she again? Let's see. So the person that played the cat was Felicia Hardy. And Felicia Hardy is the model from Tobey Maguire's. She was like doing the photo shoot. The crane broke through the window. She fell out. So it was cool. I don't know why I thought it was Gwen Stacy. Or Glenn Coco. One for you, Glenn Coco. So it was like, can we finally get to that portion? Because in order for Felicia to come in, see, there's so many arcs. So there's one where Shorty is her dad's the Vulture, which means if that was the case that they were going in, could they bring in the girl from the first Tom Holland Spider-Man? They could bring in her daughter, she becomes the cat, and blah blah blah. Because I feel no matter what, the Vulture has to come back. I think his character was so important to be there because he was doing the alien tech, and then he created the Shocker and all these people, and it's like, all right, cool. And now you see the Scorpion with his outfit. So it's like, okay, let's see where you guys take it from here. So it's just very interesting, all these things. But my main thing is his friend eventually ends up becoming a bad guy. And that's what we're all waiting for. And it was the perfect setup from the last Spider-Man movie with him and Doctor Strange. And then we find out that Ned could use magic. Now, if you know anything about his hobgoblin, that hobgoblin uses magic. So it was the perfect layup for him to become the bad guy. So if you really look at the storyline and all this stuff, you'll notice that, hey, when he knew who he was before the spell, he was like, yo, man, I will never betray you. I would never try to kill you. I would never try to do this. I would never try to do that. And that's cool and all. That was a promise that he probably meant and he made, but now his mind has been erased. So what's going to lead to the change that causes him to become the hobgoblin? The other thing I want to see is he's kind of big. I can't be talking because I'm kind of big too, but he's kind of big. So I'm wondering if he's going to look doofy on the hobgoblin board, or unless he's losing weight and jacking up. So it's like, all right, cool. But it's just all very interesting things that I want to see and how it's going to play out and what it's going to lead to, because we're going to get Secret Wars. Secret Wars is coming, and Spider-Man is very heavy in that. And then we get Doomsday, then we get all these other cool stuff. But Secret War is definitely Spider-Man influence. So, yeah. Can't wait. I can't read my board because it's so far, because I am old. So we're going to get out of this section, and we're going to go into...
You're listening to...
I created that a while ago. I just never added it to the show. So let's see what I got on the cool report. Where do I want to start? Oh, let's start it with some drama. So basically, there was a man. I saw footage of a man today, and he went up to this house, and he goes, "Hey, let me in. I want to speak to your daughter." Red flag already right there. So it was like, the way he would have died, and I could have caught my charge, is whatever. But he goes to this guy's house. He starts asking for his daughter, telling him to open the door. He's going to kill him and all this stuff. And everybody was fine with it. So I'm like, what are you supposed to do in a situation besides call police? Like, what if he breaks into the house? So it's like, all right. And I'm seeing the online fight, like, oh, you're not supposed to defend yourself. You can't defend yourself. You can't shoot through the door. You can't shoot through the door. And I'm like, oh my God, there's too many rules. So let me play you some audio.
Hi there. Can you open this door, please?
For what?
I just want to make sure that everything's okay. There seems to be something going on.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just figured I'd check on something.
I don't know what you want, man. Get out of my house.
That was way too much
fucking
conversation.
door. Where's your daughter, man? Where's your daughter,
man?
man?
What are you talking about?
Way too much conversation.
Who's in there with you?
Bro, if you don't
open
leave...
this fucking door. Open this door, I'm breaking it fucking down. You understand me?
Yeah, wow.
Leave my house. You don't...
Are you okay? Is everyone in this house
okay?
okay?
What?
My son has
okay. What
thong sandals on, a trench coat, an anime shirt, and some disgusting gray sweatpants. Like, there's just too much going on. And as much as everybody was like, he was probably unarmed, no. He came here with the trench coat. If he doesn't have a gun on him, he has a knife on him. Hence me going, for me, I feel like this thing would have went left. I would have been dead, or he would have been dead. Somebody would have been dead. I can tell you that much. But it's like, hey.
Can you leave my house, please?
Too much talking.
Can you open the door, please?
Can you open the door, please?
You have nothing to do with my house. Can you leave my house?
You know what my name is?
Do you know what my name is?
I don't know who you are. You don't belong in this neighborhood. That's for sure.
This is my neighborhood, though.
It's just too much going on.
Yeah, I live there. I don't
too
know
much talking.
My name is Harry Dresden, motherfucker.
Thank you for giving me your
name. Open the door. This is my neighborhood.
Oh, the deep voice is
crazy.
crazy.
Door.
All right, you can hear somebody's calling the police now. You can hear him calling the police now. So it's like, all right.
No.
But it should have been done a while ago.
End you.
That's a threat.
Understand me?
Threatening to kill me. Like, what are we doing here? Also, what causes somebody to go this riled up? Like, is he really off his meds, or is this really some like creep dude? Like, what if his daughter was like, not to like victim blame or anything, but like, what if his daughter was like really online talking to this loser? That's too much. That's way too much. That's way too much. Any father that has kids knows I don't even have kids. If you scare my dog like that, I have to end you. I'm sorry. My fishes are in peril right now. You have to go. You have to go meet whatever maker you have. So, yeah. So then I saw the follow up for this video, and it was like, oh, the police, a lot of police came, but they were talking to him like, hey, man, can you get away from the door? Can you back away slowly to me? That should have been a tackle. That should have been something, not a murder in their hands, not murder by police. Don't give them the satisfaction. Let me get that satisfaction. But it's like, hey man, can you back away? Can you slowly walk towards me? And it's like, oh my God, son, that was somebody of my fucking complexion. I'm like, you guys would have fucking mag dumped them. But I guess we're glad that wasn't the outcome. But it's like, yo, fam, you have a lot of fucking nerve. You have a lot of balls or a lot of mental illness to think that you could just come to my house, ask for my daughter, tell me to open my door, start breaking shit in front of my house, kicking my door, trying to break my Ring camera. And you really think that's fine, that's okay. You think this is going to end well for you. It's the most wildest part, that you think this is going to end well, not thinking that your life is going to end. But you thought, well, somewhere. No, it would have been, well, he did threaten to kill me. So defending myself, he doesn't look like he was going to run away. He looked like he was going to charge. So I'm like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? So yeah, I saw that story today and I was like, I had a whole different other story, but I was like, you know what? Let me talk about this because it's way more important. So yeah, mental health in America. We need to work on that shit because there's just so much going on. So much. But yeah. That was one of the things on the cool report. The other thing that I got, speaking of life and death, the Hudson River is saying you can now eat the fish from it, only specific fishes. How can we tell which fishes? I don't know. But they want us to eat fish from the Hudson River if you want to. And I'm going to say this right from the get. Hell no. Remember when they say don't trust your government? This is exactly why. This is exactly why you don't trust your government. Hold that nut. I'll be right back. And we're back. So the reason I say it's so crazy and not to trust your government, because they were like, hey, you can eat the fishes from the Hudson River. I'm like, I don't think that's the most cleanest of waters that you could drink out of. But it also got me to thinking. They also said specific fishes. I was like, well, how am I supposed to determine which fish I can and can't eat? And how am I supposed to determine, hey, which fish is really safe to eat? That just makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. And I know a lot of people like fishing and they like going out there and being bold and adventurous and all this stuff and da. But it's like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. So let me see what they wrote.
Sitting here.
Relax, ho. So it says, according to reports, New York's officials say it's now safe to eat some fish from the Hudson River for the first time in over 50 years. But locals remain skeptical despite lower toxin levels. All right. If I'm not mistaken, and I may be mistaken, but what's the name of that plant upstate? Indian Hills, Indian Point? What's it called? Let me check it out. Hold up. All right, so I got it. So in late 2025, Haltech International released 45,000 gallons of treated radioactive waterways containing tritium from the look at me struggling with words, but from the decommissioned Indian Point Energy Center. All right, 45,000 gallons, and you're telling me, hey, it's safe to eat this? That's the most wildest thing you could tell somebody. So tritium, that word is kicking my ass, is a radioactive form of hydrogen that they just dumped into the river. All right. So I'm like, all right, what can it do? Tritated water can enter the body through ingestion, inhalation, or skin absorption. The inhalation's crazy. So, risk. Because it mimics normal water, it distributes throughout the whole body while low level exposure is considered negligible. High quality God damn, I'm losing this reading battle right now. Ingestion could lead to increased cancer risk. All right. And what of any of that I just said to you sounds safe besides my reading? All right. Besides my reading levels, how toxic do you think that water could be? And why are you telling us that we can now, like, oh, after all this time, you can now eat from the Hudson River? You can have fish. 2025 was not that long ago. It's at late 2025. So we're about 4 months into the year, and you're telling me, like, oh, it's now safe to consume fish. Like, no. What's that shit Drake said? No. Drake's greatest words that he wished he never uttered. He's like, nah, don't run away now. But yeah, it's very like, you're telling me I should trust you into eating this cancerous fish. Like, oh, it may not be cancerous. This is no different than when the CEOs of fast food joints were eating their burgers, or the dude from McDonald's was like, this tastes delicious. He didn't move his face. He didn't chew not one bit. And then you can see he got the paper, spit it out. And then it's like, all right. And then you got the Campbell CEO like, oh, no, we don't eat this shit. Are you crazy? This is cancerous. So it's like, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. This all happened and not a long of a time span either. Like, let's say the last 6 months, all of these things just happen like a domino effect. So it's like, what are you guys trying to do to us? Like, what are you guys trying to get out of this? What do you guys benefit from killing us besides high medical treatments? We're paying for cancer and all this shit. So it's a wild conversation. So when I saw that today, I was like, whoa, why is nobody talking about this? Why is nobody really like divulging into this conversation of, hey, this is really harmful to us. This could be really, 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 really bad. So what is going on? I say, what is going on? So yeah. You can now fish in the river. No, fuck out my face. The next thing I got on the cool report is Ebro and old Hot 97 crew are mad that they can't book guests. Oh, very interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Where
No shit, dumbasses.
you had a whole network, a whole syndicate behind you, and you think you could book people now? I love these things. I love these things. Shout out to Mero. But I love these things. You want to know why I love these things? Because it takes people that were on this high plateau and they got knocked down. Now they're here on the same ground level with me. You didn't get all this backing. You didn't get all of this. You didn't get all of that. You didn't get a budget. You didn't get nothing. Not a goddamn thing like I do. And it's like, now for me and you, the fucking playing field is level, but it's not really leveled because you still had notoriety because you was on this platform for so fucking long that you could have took all these things with you, but you didn't. And it shows a lot. It shows a lot that when you were on this platform and then now that you left, the Jerry Maguire said, like, who's coming with me? Who's coming with me? And nobody went with you besides Rosenberg and Laura Stiles. And it's like, great. You're now seeing it from our point of view. That's all I'm saying. You're now seeing it from our point of view. You know how many times I hear these big time podcasters and I know they know who the hell I am because I heard them mention me a couple of times. So it's like, oh, okay, you're probably like, you're delusional. You don't have a fan base. I'm telling you that I'm brought up in conversations. It is pretty entertaining because I don't think this podcast is anywhere as close as their production is because I'm on a smaller level. So it's like, okay. But it was just very entertaining because I remember when podcast came out and Ebro was shitting on podcasters. He's like, you little podcasters out here. And what did you just do? You're going to call it a webisode? No, it's a podcast. You're doing a podcast. That's what you're doing. Huh? Podcast. And now you're like, oh, we can't book people. See, the beauty of podcasts is there's many different avenues. And if you notice, a lot of your favorite podcasters, if they're not guest-based, they have a group of people with them. But you know what they can't do, and I'm glad they credited me for this, is that I could do a podcast on my own. And whether I keep your attention or not, I'm still doing it on my own. I'm still giving you an hour, hour and a half, close to 2 hours of content every week since I'm back. So it's like, And when you ask them, do you think you could do this? Nope. Hell no. So it's very interesting to see somebody that was used to being this high level on the same level with us, and he's complaining. And all these people that you were supposed to make friends with, all this stuff, because you're the face of New York radio. Hot 97 is the face of New York radio, and then nobody wants to work with you. Nobody wants to work with you. And to be honest, Rosenberg, you kind of should be moving way better than when you guys are moving now, because if you guys didn't know, Rosenberg is kind of responsible for the Joe Budden podcast. The Joe Budden podcast is huge. The Joe Budden podcast is huge. And it's like, I know you were there at the beginning, so you should know some steps to get you there. I'm not saying you will ever reach the plateau of the Joe Budden podcast. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But it's like, you know the steps that it takes to get there. You know how to do, you know how to move. So when you see the Ebro in the morning show with them, and you're seeing the studio that they're in, and they have money for a studio, but they're not putting the money into a studio, or they have bad audio. Like the fact that somebody like me could have amazing audio like I have right now, and they're like, oh, times is different, times it's hard. I'm like, no, you guys just don't want to invest in this. You guys thought that your names would bring you all of your clientele here. And it's like, it didn't. It did not. So it's not transferring well. And it's like, you're actually going to have to put work into it. There's no longer a group of people that are just going to run to this thing, because guess what? The radio station, High 97 is already there. 105.1 already there. Whatever radio station you listen to, they're all presets. Boom, 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 boom. No, 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 no. This, they have to search for you. They got to look for you. They got to type your name in a Google bar, a Google search, a YouTube search, a Spotify, Apple Music search. They got to look for you. You got to hope that your name pops up. You got to hope that somebody sees that your artwork catches somebody's attention, that whatever clip that they clip of you actually grabs more people to come to you. And it's like, you thought that was going to come so easy. Like, you're bugging out. You are bugging out. So it's like, what did you think was going to come out of all of this? Did you really think that it was just going to fall on your lap? No. You got screwed by a major corporation, and now
You're a victim.
that's what you are. So I suggest you guys ship up and shape out, because it's like you're one of us now. And as crazy as it sounds, you should be doing way better. I know one of the things when the Joe Budden podcast broke up and Rory Maul went their way, it amazed me how, first of all, they were locked in a contract. They had a non-compete contract. They signed it for a whole year, so they couldn't drop new material. They could talk about certain things, but they couldn't talk about certain things. The MDA came into effect, so it was just crazy. So then I'm seeing these people like, all right, you guys know the inner workings of a podcast. You guys know how to move. You guys know what to get. Your podcast started in the basement in Queens. Oh, hey, Queens. So it's like, hey, how do you maneuver from here to there? So when I was watching them, they were just in like regular studio spaces. Like, they didn't put no thought into it. Thank God they finally did. Like, they were like, oh, here. Somebody like me, I make the best with the space that I got, and I try to make it work for me. So it's like, all right, you guys were a whole head up on that. You guys had a whole stuff. One of the biggest things I would look at with this show is that I look at where I started to where I'm at right now. And it's like, I look at how I used to angle the cameras. I used to have 3 cameras. We're down to 1. I'm being minimal now. So it's like, all right, camera angle. So I started off on this side. Then I went to this side. And then I went to this side. And then I went to this side. And then we went over, we were shooting in Caesar's apartment. Then we were shooting in Caesar's barbershop / tattoo parlor. He was the tattoo parlor. Then it was like, all right, now we're shooting in the basement of the barbershop / tattoo parlor. Now we're shooting at the new spot that C's just created, and we're still in the work of construction. And now we're shooting in my cousin's garage that he had. And then we're shooting at my cousin's house. And then we're shooting here, and then here, and back again. And it's like, it just got more aesthetically pleasing after a while. And it's like, these are the things that you have to do when you start at the bottom. Like, all right, we're going to start cleaning this up, making it look way better. So it's like, all right, as opposed to somebody that's already been there, and there's like, oh no, we don't know what we're doing. And it's like, it's sad. It's sad because you have the tools. And now you guys are the radio is basically, oh hey, we have guests. Talk to the guests. You want to piss them off? Piss them off. You want to make them happy? You want to glaze? Blah, blah, blah. No. You guys got to figure that shit out because this is that as my world. I'm like, I think of every week what I'm going to talk about. I think about every week what subjects to talk about. I think about every week what not to say. It's the what not to say that kills me. But when we get to Patreon, that's when the what not to say comes out. But it's like you guys were well more equipped to move in this scenario as opposed to somebody that just got into it. Like, all right, you know how many failed podcasts there are out there? There's a bunch of failed podcasts out there in the world. There's a bunch. When I say there's a bunch. And it's like, every day on Marketplace, I just look for new podcast shit to buy. Like, oh shit. I'm looking for the Shure SM7Bs. I'm looking for that for cheap. So when we do the switch over, boom. But right now I'm rocking out with the mic, the Rode mic. So it's like, cool. Then you get bullshit deals. My bad. I'm really on the subject, but I'm passionate. This is what I like to talk about. I saw Netflix sign podcasters, and I'm looking at the people that they sign. I was like, I never heard of any of these guys, not one. And then the ones that do got it, that have a name, shouldn't have a podcast. You're banking off, oh, I'm a celebrity. Them shits don't be funny, bro. They are not funny. They are not entertaining. And then I see Rory and Mal. Shout out to them. They finally got it together. They know what they're doing. That was a huge wave to see somebody like them. Like, oh shit, I seen them from this to that. So to go from nothing to something, back down to nothing, to back to something, that's amazing. I love seeing that. So it's like, all right, cool. I see Bad Friends there. But what pisses me off is that I see the Breakfast Club there. Why is the Breakfast Club in podcast places? I know you have the Black Effect Network and you have all this and da. And it's like, cool. Or the iHeart radio station, they do podcast awards, but they're called iHeart Radio. What are we doing? What are we doing? So when I see the Breakfast Club there, I'm like, you guys are radio. You guys literally talk to live guests. You guys are live from this. Why are you on my bracket? Why am I competing with you guys? You guys make no sense. So it's like, wild. Yeah, but this podcast battle is real. And people don't get it. When people hear me talk about it, like, oh, you're just going on a long diatribe. No, it really is something. There's people that just thought like, hey, I'm a celebrity. I could bring my fans here. We could start this podcast. And then it'll just be great. Money. And that was originally the ideal for a lot of people that just ended up getting, oh, you're such and such. Here, money. And then they eventually run out of things to talk about or how to move, how to maneuver. If you're related or if you're based off content based, that's what you're banking on. Then you start digging into your pocket. And be like, all right, how much to get this person to come do this? Knowing damn well whenever it comes to interviews or radio interviews, you never pay for a radio interview. They never pay you because this should be promotion for whatever project you're working on. But on a lower tier podcast or show or webisode, whatever they're going to claim it to be, it's like, all right, we have to figure this out. So, yeah. So seeing them go through all of this, and I'm like, you guys shouldn't be going through all of this because we're still technically not on the same playing field, but you're just on my level. And it's like, okay, you guys should have been maneuvering better. You guys should have cut back up like that. I'm not getting why you're complaining about, oh, no, we used to have all these guests and now nobody wants to come do our show. Why would they? Now you're in the business of building somebody else up. And you're building somebody else up that probably gave you a hard time when your album came out, when they probably forced you to do a freestyle that you didn't want to do. So it's like, now you need me. Great. So yeah, I don't know how they were expecting to be like, hey, how he was expecting people to be accepting of him and his new position and his new show that he's falling off in this place, not knowing that, hey, you were probably being used like a lot of us get used for stuff. So it's like, oh, okay, let's see how we maneuver from here, how we push forward, how we go forward from here. So yeah. All right, I think it's time to move on to the next section. I don't know what I did there. All right, let's go into the next section.
Wait, Jose!
That is I. That is I. That is I. All right, let's see what we got listed. Somebody asked me, "Are you going to talk about all the things that you miss?" I missed out on a bunch. That's a lot. That's a lot. So the only thing I can think of key moments, would be we're in a war now. We're not really just in a war. We've been in a war, but we're more. We kind of seem like we're leading towards World War III, which is leading to high gas prices. I think we're at $4.10 a gallon right now. That's for regular people. I know you guys are like premium. They're like, ooh. But or if you got diesel, God bless. God bless. Yeah. Just the information just came out about the draft, and it's now 18 to 26 or 17 to 26, 18 to 26, 17 to 26, 17:38. But yeah, it just seems like a lot's going on. It doesn't seem like it's fun. So it just seems like we have the future is kind of uncertain, but the future's always been uncertain when it comes to anybody in general. But for this war, it just seems like a lot of things are going to transpire. A lot of things are going to take place that may be good, maybe bad, most likely bad. But do I still think that we're going to be on top? Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. We're always going to be on top. Number one, baby. But yeah, that happened during the break. What else happened during the break? Mandani wants to raise taxes and raise taxes and lower speed limits. The two things in New York that people hate. So he wants to do an estate tax for like if your parent owns a house and then they pass away. He wants to raise it he wants to lower it. So it used to be up to like $7 million. I believe he just lowered it to $750,000. He wants to do a 50% increase. But everybody should know that the 50% increase isn't across the board. But he did make it so somebody has to pay something, because to go and assume that, hey, the people that you're trying to help, the lower class, this house that we have that I'm staying in, that I'm residing in, is not worth $750,000. It's worth more. So it's like, okay, so in the event that my father passes away, we now have to pay this tax on the house at whatever rate that we were applied for, as opposed to before we were pay a percentage of it, a lower percentage of a tax. So it's like, But he's really losing me with the lower the speed limit of residentials. Really losing me with that one. Not that they're enforced, but it's like from 25 to 20. Not getting behind that one at all. That one just seems like a bunch of malarkey to me. But yeah, that was one of the things that came up too. That happened when I was not recording. What else came up? The Oscars controversy. So the Oscars, there was between Sinners and Fight Another Battle Another Day, Another Battle to Fight Another Day, something like those, something along those lines. People were praising the hell out of Sinners. You guys already know my take on Sinners. It has a lot of original pieces, but then the main part to me that's not original, the storyline, is just not it. And then the category that it's in, it shouldn't be in that category. It should be something else, because to me, it wasn't a horror. There was nothing scary about Sinners. There was nothing that was like, oh my God. It should have been something else. But they won a bunch of awards. One battle after another won a bunch of awards. Then there was Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Del Lindo that were on stage, and the kid with Tourette's blurted out a word. And my whole conversation with that piece is, how does, because it sounds like I'm being like anti-Tourette's or whatever the hell that would fucking be. But it's like, how do people that have this always manage to be so offensive to the people that, how can I word this? Like, why are you yelling out racial slurs to people? Like, why is that your Tourette's like thing? That's the thing that always gets me. Because there's a girl that I follow, Colin. I got her soundbite. I love this girl. And a cool vibey way. We're getting any shit for that one. But this girl, this is the girl that goes, Colin. I forget her name. But yeah. I've never heard this girl yell out racial things. Never. She says her sister sucks cock. Her boyfriend Colin sucked George Washington's cock. That's a bold accusation. But it's like, why the racial stuff? And it's like, oh, it's because it's like a word that you can't say and it'll just make everything weird. I'm like, no. My question is, why do you know that word? How did you learn that word? Who taught you that word? Unless you're going to be like, oh, the internet does all of this. And I was like, all right, I can't argue that. But even before that, it's like you were taught that word. You learned that word from somewhere, and now it's in your vocabulary. And I understand you can't get it out because it's like, all right. And it's like, don't say the word, don't say the word, don't say the word, don't say the word. And then the word comes out and everybody's like, whoa, why the fuck would you say the word? But that's always been my conversation. If you didn't know these words, would you still say it? Is a better question. It's a better question. Yeah. It comes down to like, why would this word show up now? Like, why would you show this up at this point in time? Is what I'm saying. That's one. Two is it wasn't live. It was not live. It had like, I think, a 2-hour delay. The Oscars had a whole 2-hour delay, and they still let it play out, still let it air it out, still let it do all of this. And that's because controversy sells. So it's like, who should society really be more mad at? The Oscars or the person with Tourette's? It's like, it was such a crazy conversation to be had. I was like, I don't know where you want us to like really take this to. So it's like, So yeah, it was just like, who do you side with in this portion of the conversation? So yeah, that was the other thing. You got Drewski. Drewski called a glow up. Drewski. He had a couple of hits, couple of misses. I think he's getting shit for the Charlie Kirk's wife thing, even though he never mentioned her name, that they're going to sue, whatever. He's been doing good. One of my favorite clips of Drewski is if he's with the big dominatrix girl, and she goes, people say I look like you. And he throws a chair, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to clip it where he goes, Jose Chow, no. So, yeah. But other than that, what else is there? Young Ame. Yeah. She just took a picture in a dress. She didn't look bad, but I mentioned it before on this podcast before that Young Ame doesn't look bad. She just dresses like a dude. I just don't want her. Not that I could get her, but if we were ever to get together and we would have relations, I don't want that voice in my ear. I don't want.
You like this pussy, baby?
Like that's not gonna do it. That's not gonna do it for me. I'm sorry. My shit'll go from 12 to 6 really fucking fast. But I've seen footage of her when she in her early rap career where she was dressed as a girl. She does not look bad. It's just I know I have to be careful if I ever hook up with Young Ame type because I'm gonna be like,
Wait. What's back there? What did you put in my drink? What are you putting on? What is that long phallic object between your thighs?
Like, yeah, no. But didn't look bad. Who had a crush on her? Was it Boosie? Boosie gonna have a field day with that one. That if it was him. But yeah, Young Ame. It really wasn't much. War, Oscars controversy, Drewski, and Young Ame. That's about it. And high gas prices. Nothing really happened. It was like, woo. There was no rap anything. Jay-Z announced a concert. Woo. I can't afford that shit. It's like, okay, then you have Cardi B. Offset just got shot, but not by. Back to, what's his name? TK? TJ? T something. Apparently he lent Offset money. He went to the casino to still gamble like he didn't owe somebody money and he shot him. I'm like, it seems fucking reasonable to me. So, yeah, nothing really happened that transpired. It was like, ooh, I have to talk about this. So, we're going to go on to the next question. Thoughts on the draft? Did I speak on the draft yet? Oh, thoughts on the draft. So, they opened the thing from 18 to 26. I think I spoke on it, but not really spoke on it. All right, so they're dropping this thing later this year where they're opening the draft from 18 to 26, but right now it's open. It's like drafts for dudes only. And this is the part where I become
a feminist.
And the reason that is because they're only talking about men. And this day of equality and all this stuff. I know you guys fucking hate me when I get like this. All this equality and one for all and equal pays and this and gaps and da-da-da-da. Where are the feminists at? Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Why aren't you guys running and signing up for this? See, I had this conversation the other day at my job, and the girl was getting really mad at me that I gave her a timeout. I was like, yo, don't speak to me for the whole day. But it was a conversation which was, we were talking about it, and we was like, yo, when you go to college, you know, they make you sign the draft card. And she was like, no, you don't. I'm like, I don't know if they still do it, but I'm pretty sure if you went to college, you signed the draft card, or was it a community college? It had to do something with college, but you signed the draft card when you go to college. We could Google that. We could Google that right now. All right, so let's see what I got. So it says, you do not sign a draft card specifically because you go to college. Instead, almost all male U.S. citizens and immigrants, now they want immigrants, 18 to 25 must register with Selective Service System. Sounds like a draft card to me. This registration is frequently completed when filling out for FAFSA, a federal financial aid, or whenever you get a driver's, or when getting a driver's license. I don't remember signing up for that. But yeah. Key details about draft registration. 18 to 25. Failing to register can prevent you from receiving federal loans. All right, we know that. How to register. Register online, draft status. There is no active draft. All right. So I'm not all the way off on that. So we were talking this talk, and she was like, well, he better say he gay. And I'm like, I don't think he cares. I think he wanted to reverse that too. I know he's going back on a lot of policies, which makes it even more fucking funnier. So I know it's pissing off his base. But I think at one point he was like, yo, we don't care that you're whatever you like, identify, whatever. I think he's pushing back on a lot of shit. So enrollment to join the military opened up. That's from 18 to 42. I was telling her this too. I was like, yo, you know, that's opening up. So if they open something like this up not that long ago, this is pretty recent. That's how I knew that we're eventually going to go to war. It's like, okay, 18 to 42. It used to stop at 35. So I was like, all right. I was like, I'm good. 3 years, can't go. All right. No. They're spinning the block. And I was like, okay. So she's talking all of this and all that. She's like, well, my son has asthma. I was like, I don't think they care. And then you're probably looking at me like, you sound like an asshole. But I'm like, I'm just being truthful. I'm like, this is what it is. This is what it really is. What do you want us to do with this information that we're giving you? I'm like, do you not want this information? Do you want to just be like dumb? Like, you want to be oblivious to shit? So when shit happens, you're like, oh my God, I didn't see this coming. So I was like, all right. But she didn't hear. She thought I was speaking negative shit to her son. I was like, I'm not speaking negative shit towards your son. I'm just saying the military will find use. So he might not be in the shit because he has asthma, but he could fly a drone perfectly. You remember it was like, oh, we don't accept people with glasses, and they started giving out military grade glasses, or some people would get LASIKs. Shit. But it was like, okay. Now it's like, you think the government won't find something for you? It's the most wildest thing. So I was more leaning into, girl, they raised the enrollment from 35 to 42. Now you're like, bro, you have to enroll. I was like, if they start drafting, they're going to start looking at old asses too. It's opened up for a reason. So I was like, okay. I was like, she was like, so what does that mean? I was like, there's a high chance you can go too. And then she was like, no, they said nothing about women. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Now y'all motherfuckers don't want to be equal. The nerve of y'all. But yeah, my thoughts on the draft. If we gotta go, we're gonna end up fucking going. I was like, what's the other option? You're gonna go to jail? And people that go like, well, if you go to jail, then you should be safe. There's a high chance they're still gonna find a way to throw your ass over there too. You know what? You know who we're gonna put on the front line? The people that went to jail. So that's my whole thing. My only real worry in this conversation would be if we were to go to war, you send me overseas, and we're in dangerous territories, and I lose these glasses on my face, and I can't see shit past these glasses. I don't even qualify for LASIK, so you can't even heal me that way. Then guess what? God bless anybody in front of me in my platoon. Because I mentioned it before in the show. It's like, yeah, if I lose my glasses, I'm already bad with coordination, and we are all wearing the same shit. That us and the enemy are wearing the same shit. There's a high chance I'm gonna fucking shoot one of our civilians. So, yeah, either put me all the way in the front or put me somewhere else where I'm safe and my glasses can't fall off my face. So, yeah. What else I got? Oh, okay. A question. Is this a dick move? Well, I was minding my own business. This guy complimented my sneakers, and I said, and he said, I have the same ones. When I looked at him, I noticed he was in the wheelchair, and I blurted out, his will last longer. Yes. This is a quick question. Yes, you're a dickhead. You're an asshole. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? What makes you think his sneakers are going to last longer? Because he's not walking on them? Huh? He could get wheelchair grease on them. Something could get spilled on them. He could fall out his chair, scuff them up a little bit more. You don't know that. But it's not that crazy of an idea to presume, like, hey, it will last. It's not. But it's like, no, you got to be mindful, man. He was over here trying to connect to you on a human level. And then he was like, hey, man, we're still different. That's wild. That's wild as hell. You should have ran over your sneakers with that wheelchair. You should have, real quick, both of them, same time, 2 squiggly lines. So, yeah, why would you say that? Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Bro.
Oh boy, over the top. How outre.
Bro, he should have robbed you. He should have whooped your ass. He should have been like, I'm not handicapped, I'm handy-capable. And just started beating your ass. That's wild. Or he should have been able to like find a situation where he could fight you one-on-one, like in the front seat or the back seat of a car, and then it's equal playing field, right? Because you can't kick or run away. You guys are just together. Also, don't ever try to fight a handicapped person that all their strength went to something else. Because you know they have to be strong. They have to pick their bodies up. They have to do all this shit. They fall, they have to get back up. All right, so you know they have crazy upper body strength. I think I've seen a couple of videos where I've seen them beat the shit out of normal, capable people, and then they walked away. Not really walked away, rolled away, or hopped away, or whatever form of transportation they took to get out of the situation after they won. So, yeah. I don't know what you're thinking, but I don't stop that. I'd stop that. So, yeah, you're a dick. That's about it. That's all I gotta tell you. You're a dick. I don't know what thought you were gonna gain from this conversation with me, but I'm gonna side with you. No, you're a dick. But good luck to you, and thank you for submitting your question. I think from here we're gonna move on over to the next section. Hey, welcome, good people that like to fast forward the part-time lover. Part-time lover is a section where people submit their questions about their relationship or other people's relationships, and they try to get a serious answer from me, which I do not give them. I am not a licensed therapist. I am not a licensed professional. I'm just played one on this show. So please take whatever I say with a grain of salt, a whole grain, 2 grains, whatever the grain that you take. 128. But yeah. I am not a professional. I feel like I got to stress that a lot, that I am not a professional. But do what you want with the information. Take it, don't take it, use it, don't use it, partly use it to your advantage, use it to fucking take advantage, do whatever you want, but it's totally in your hands. So please don't try to put it on me. Do.
This chick tricked me. Makeup does wonders, boy oh boy. Spent the night together so I see her bare face for the first time, and she has freckles. Yuck.
Oh.
It looks like someone was eating cookies and milk and accidentally sneezed on her face. I feel like this should be brought up first in that get to know you stage.
Yeah. All right, so for you guys that didn't catch it, I'm just going to read the question. He wrote, this chick tricked me. Makeup does wonders. Boy, oh boy. Spent the night together, so I see her bare face for the first time, and she has freckles. Yuck. It looks like someone was eating cookies and milk and accidentally sneezed on her face. I feel like this should be brought up on the first get to know you stage. You're an asshole. But I understand. I understand what you're saying. I'm not a fan of freckles either, but there's something that they can't help. Should it come up in the first conversation? Not probably the first conversation, probably the second conversation. But it should come up. Because how bad are those freckles? I remember this one time when the IG girls wanted freckles so bad they were getting it tattooed on their face. Never got it. Never got it. One of my favorite girls that I just saw, she has freckles. But yet again, nothing you could do about it. That's their face. What do you want them to do with their face? Like there's nothing that you could do as far as a conversation that comes up later. Like, hey man, would you love me with all my flaws and all that? To call that a flaw is a really asshole thing to say, but somebody's gonna say it. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But who doesn't love freckles? You ever seen the guy with the deformed head? He had freckles. They loved him in that movie. He got a chick. She was blind, so she didn't have to see it, but he still got a chick with freckles and all. Could she feel the freckles when she touched it? She felt, you know what's crazy? It would have been a crazy deal breaker if she was like touching his face and then she could feel the freckles. Like, oh, she's like, oh my God, ew. And he's like, I'm sorry that my face is deformed. No, nigga, you got freckles. So, yeah, that would be wild. But there's nothing that she could do about her freckles besides avoid sunlight. But then she becomes a vampire. Is that what you want? You want her to be a day walker? Technically, she's a day walker. You want her to be a night lurker? Yeah, that's better. Yeah, you want her to be like, no, don't come out in bright sunny days. Stay inside. Make sure you use mad SPF 40. I think gingers are the ones that mostly get freckles. But yeah, ladies, I'll never forget that trend. I'm never gonna let you let that down either, because when you guys are like going crazy, tattooing freckles to your face is wild. You know how stupid you're gonna look when it gets older and you find out that the black ink they use isn't black, it's just gonna turn green. So now it's gonna look like you have some kind of like typhoid, whatever that shit is called. Like shit. But you're an asshole. She can't do nothing about freckles. Also, I'm pretty sure there's something on you that she doesn't like. And she's like, oh man, I didn't know his dick was little or something like that. So yeah. The battles we choose, one battle after another, not a plug. So yeah. That was really mean. I mean, that's it. Also, that's the makeup's job, is to hide that. You think people are just naturally beautiful like me right now? I'm barefaced. You think this was planned, premeditated? You see this mustache? All right, you see my hair slicked back? Come on. God. All right, I'm gonna move on to the next section. All right, so the next section isn't a question that somebody submitted. It's something that I saw, and I figured I'd flip it on you guys, and you guys can answer, don't answer, keep to yourself, whatever you want to do. So I saw a scenario come up. One of my favorite podcasts that I like to watch. And the scenario was, dude's talking to his girl. They're in the beginning talking stage of this girl. You know, in the beginning talking stage, your girl wants to be at your hip. She wants to see everything you do everything you do, go follow you everywhere, blah, 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 blah. So normally when you do dirt, you don't want your girl to pull up to certain places because you did dirt. So the scenario was, he was looking for something in his car. His girl was giving a hand. And when she looked in the trunk, she found lube. She was like, why is there lube in your car? Now, this could go so many ways. But it got me thinking, what will be way worse than lube? I was like, is finding condoms way worse than finding lube? In this situation, I think finding lube is the worst situation, because finding condoms lets you know, all right, he's cheating, but he's being safe, as opposed to he's just going crazy, fucking dry vagina bitches with lube that's in his trunk, that's already preheated from the summer heat. So it's like, or exhaust heat, whichever way you want to go with it. It's like, whoa. So yeah, I present to you, which one in this scenario would be worse? Condoms or lube? Like, guys, imagine like you go to your girl's car and you find condoms or lube. I know a lot of guys are like, not my girl, but you never know what situation you're in with your girl. So it's like, whatever. But what would be worse? Like, oh man, bitch, you out here practicing safe sex? Or you just out here raw dogging people with dry vagina? That's crazy. It's crazy. So the explanation I heard for why he had lube in his car was way worse than finding out that if he was cheating or not. I'm pretty sure he was cheating, but it's still like, hey, to try to come up with a lie and come up with the worst explanation of why you did what you did is even more crazier to me. Because it's like, he told Shorty, what I like to do is I like to go to the strip club and I like to pour it on my chest. And my thing was like, are you performing? Are you out here performing in the strip club? You work at the strip club? But then I started thinking with strip club etiquette, and I started like, all right, there are creeps out there in the world which is dudes normally go bring the lube to the strip club, and sometimes they'll get a handy in the back. Am I giving out information I'm not supposed to? Whatever, we're here now. Or they will pop some in the back. Or some dudes will be creepy. They'll put it up on their waistband, put the lube on it, and when they get a lap dance and the girl's going crazy, they're already like losing their shit. So it's like, none of those sounds like good scenarios for your girls to hear. So it's like, But that's if you partake in strip club etiquette, which is not real etiquette. That's not real etiquette, guys. I'm not telling you like, hey man, part of the thing journey to when you go to the strip club is to go there with the lube. So it's like, no. But I've heard that is part of strip club culture, is what I would say. That there's a couple of weird dudes like that. And there's girls that are okay doing that shit too, so more power to them. But it was just very interesting to hear the scenario. I was like, wait, how would I feel in this situation? And if you ask me, I'd rather find the condoms. You're gonna cheat on me, make sure you don't bring nothing back to me. Right? I've seen too many fucking NWA docs and fucking Magic Johnson jocks and all this shit. It's like, oh nah, fuck that. But yeah. So we're gonna get out of here. Thank you for submitting your questions, and this was the end of all right. Beautiful people, we are getting to the point where we are at the end. I just want to say thank you to everybody that watched the show. Thank you to everybody that partook in the show. Thank you for everybody that helped with the show. Thank you for everybody that just likes being here. So I just want to let you guys know that I still got more tweaks and changes to do to the show. I still want to get rid of sections. I want to add sections. I want to make other sections smaller, and just give you a better show. I think me doing less would be way more for this show, and because I think right now we're probably at 2 hours, and if not, hour 30, hour 45. So it's very like, where do I go from here? What do I do here? What do I take from here? What do I give to you guys? What do I support you guys with? That's where my mind is. So it's like, oh, okay. So while I figure this out, I just want to say shout out to you guys for supporting me. Shout out to you guys. I just want to make sure you guys are good. Make sure you guys are straight out there. Make sure you guys know that you are not alone in the silent battle. I want you guys to know that we are here to set goals, make goals, achieve goals. And if you happen to fall, I need you to get your punk ass back up. All right? The world does not stumble. The world does not stop. The world does not stop. I messed it up. The world does not stop because you stumble or fall. All right, man? We have to keep going. We have to keep pushing, even if it means it's going to be a bitch to deal with. All right? I just want everybody to know that hey, man, we got to win, because what's the other choice? We have to keep forward. We have to keep moving. We have to keep pushing. All right? There is no other choice. It's just winning. There's just winning. You might take a loss now, but we're going to fucking continue to win. You're going to get to the win. All right? Whatever the win is, you're going to get to it. If this doesn't work out, something else will work out. Something's bound to work in your favor. Shit can't just be rainy all the fucking time. So that's what I want you guys to walk away from with the end of this episode. I want you guys to be good. I want you guys to be great. I am your host, Jose Luis, a.k.a. All My Cool J. And I'm out of here. Peace out.
Deuces.